transformed lives. I'm very happy to...
To the Minister for giving way. She used the word fairness a few times and the challenges facing the country. But can she explain why she's her government has decided to give banks a reduction in the taxes they pay in their surcharge, which will cost the taxpayer £1 billion a year, when our constituents are going hungry and increasing numbers are going hungry because of the failure to support them, given the challenges they've faced over the last 18 months?
I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to answer that question, because the honourable member talked about a reduction in the amount banks are paying. But that's not actually accurate, because the banks will actually be paying a higher rate than they did previously. The honourable member might have noticed in my speech I referenced the fact that corporation tax was going up to 25%. And banks will actually be paying a higher rate than everybody else, which is 25%. They will be now paying 28%, not the 27% that they are currently paying. And what we are doing is ensuring that we have a competitive environment for these banks to operate, because the banking sector contributes not only to the economy, but employs £1 million within banks. And she also mentioned that people were going hungry, and I think it's really important to recognise what this finance bill and budget has done for those on the lowest pay. So I've talked about the universal taper rate, bringing in an additional £1,000 for those people in work who will benefit from it. We've also increased the national living wage, which will benefit people on average by £1,000. And there are a number of other measures which help people who aren't in work to get the benefit. Very happy to give way.
But the reality is that the universal credit cut and the taper, which is welcome, the taper rate reduction, will only help a third of the 6 million that are affected. What about the 4 million others? That is not a fair budget, and it's wrong for this government to treat the British people, given what they've faced in the last 18 months with the pandemic.
Universal credit taper does is send out a message that it is important to get into work, and it is important that work pays, because what we believe on this side of the House is the way that you help people is to get them into work, get them into good jobs so that they can support themselves. And we have got a number of schemes to help those people who are on universal credit to get into work. And it is also important when they are in work that they are paid well for it. But the honourable member also asked about what of those people who are not in work. And I would like to remind her of all the measures we have put in place for those who are not in work, because not everybody can work. That's the £500 million that the Chancellor announced before the budget for those most vulnerable, millions of vulnerable people who will benefit from that. That's the Warm Homes discount, over 2 million people benefiting from the Warm Homes discount. All those people who benefit from the council tax rebates that we help them with. And so it is right, we support the most vulnerable, but the measure in relation to the universal credit taper is about making work